Welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Nick Kinzel.
I'm Tom Hoblin.
And the NASCAR 2023 season just wrapped up. And I got to say, what a weekend it was at Phoenix Raceway. Started off with the shit show with the truck series. But guys, what a season it was to cap it off with three champions. A great season once again.
Yeah, we kind of had it all this weekend, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Absolutely. I can't believe it's over. It really just feels like last week we were unloading cars for Daytona. We were lining up for the duels, but here we are. Another season's come and gone. And yeah, what a weekend. Tom, you summed it up pretty perfectly. The good, the bad, and the very, very, very ugly that we saw on Friday night that I cannot wait to talk about.
Yep. But before we do all that, guys, let's do our last diecast of the week for the season. Tom, we'll start off with you. What you got for us, buddy?
All right. I actually have a Phoenix race car to show you. Our friend Eric at Out of the Groove did a promotion where if you pre-ordered this diecast, you got your name put on the deck lid. So this is the first race car that I was ever on. My name's somewhere in there.
Nice.
And then at the street race, I got Eric to sign the front windshield. Kind of can't see it. And then I got Brennan Poole, the driver of the car, to sign the rear windshield. So it's just a really nice piece. It really fun. And it was the first race car I was on that weekend. And then I say that weekend because one of my photos got picked for the Kyle Busch fan tribute race car. So I found my picture. I was on the hood of that car as well. So
that's
It
badass.
was a fun weekend last year to randomly be on two race cars. And again, shout out to Eric. He puts out really good stuff, and he congeals the news really well, and that's kind of how I stayed in touch in NASCAR through college and all that. So good work, Eric.
He's one of the realer NASCAR YouTubers. I would say that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Nico, what you got for your diecast of the week, buddy?
Okay, so this diecast really doesn't have a whole lot to do with NASCAR, but so Ian, I like Japanese baseball. And this past weekend, the Hanshin Tigers, they won the Japan Series for the first time in a long time. And that means that the curse of Colonel Sanders is over. A little backstory on that. Back in the 80s, the Hanshin Tigers had this player, Randy Bass, and a lot of fans thought that he looked, for some reason in Japan, they thought Randy Bass, he looked like Colonel Sanders. And they threw a Colonel Sanders statue into a river outside of like the stadium or whatever. And ever since then, like they were cursed. I haven't won a title since, but this past weekend they finally won. And so the curse of Colonel Sanders is over. And so that means that I have to bust out my either 2000 or 2013 or 2014 David Reagan, a little KFC diecast, because a lot of the fans that I've seen on Twitter, they've been going out to celebrate winning this by going to KFC because the curse is over. So yeah, it was just one of those I just had in my collection because I like KFC too. But yeah, little David Reagan KFC Go Cup car. It's a beaut, and yeah, the curse of the Colonel is finally over.
We got a little Japanese baseball history lesson in here.
We got it all here on the spectacle, that's for sure.
Damn straight. All right, guys, for my diecast of the week, since Kevin Harvick just wrapped up an amazing career in the NASCAR Cup Series, I had to bust out the time before where he drove the Harvick car, where Busch Beer decided to stop giving free advertisement for the Busch Bros and slap his name on there. I thought that was an awesome car when they did that a couple years ago at Dover, and they did it one more time for his ride here. And I wasn't a big fan at first, but just knowing that that's his last ride, it's really something special. So
yeah. How are you feeling after this weekend? How's the old noggin doing?
It's doing all right. I mean, I think yesterday it really kind of hit me that it was all over. I don't know. It's just kind of depressing. Yeah, a lot of great memories.
22 years, man. Like that's wild for somebody to be that successful and have that much impact on a sport.
Yeah, most of my life I've been following this guy and praising him, and Yeah, it's just sad to see it all go, but man, what a hell of a career.
For sure. And he's
that's-
still lower on the all-time wins list than Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Well, you got that on us, that's for sure.
That season when he won 9 races and passed Kyle Busch for like a race or two until Kyle won like Texas again or something, like that was the scariest season of my life.
Yeah, they were back and
Stop
forth.
winning races. Just stop.
Yeah, but hopefully he'll be having some good times up in the booth with Clinton,
for
Mike
sure.
Joy.
we need
I
him.
hope he fixes that booth.
Yeah,
My God.
me too.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been
We
great
need
in the
him.
booth whenever they've had him go in for the Xfinity races. So, yeah, he's bringing in a lot of knowledge as well up in the booth as well, especially with this next gen car.
Absolutely. I think he's just gearing up to take over that play-by-play spot once Mike Joy finally decides to hang it up, which is hopefully soon. But yeah, Kevin brings great knowledge, and especially he's going to be fresh out of this car. He's going to know a lot, so it's going to be exciting. Him
Yeah,
and Jamie Mag.
yeah, and he's
Jamie
done
McMurray
play by
was
play.
he was the guest on the Dale Jr. Download last week, and he was talking about how he thought he was going to get the booth job, and then they went with Clint Boyer over him, and I was just punching the air. I was so mad that not like maybe you thought Jamie didn't want to be in the booth or something, but he wanted to be there, and they said no, and we have to deal with Clint Boyer's dumbass for making a mockery of our sport for half the season. Like it's interesting, but I hope Kevin will bring some balance to there.
Yeah, I think he definitely will, and like you said, Nick, he will do play by play, I'm sure, because he's done it multiple times for Xfinity races when they had the drivers only broadcast. So he's ready for it. So whenever Mike Joy wants to step down, take the reins, Kevin Harvick. But guys, let's get into this weekend from Phoenix Raceway. And my, oh my, what a race we had on Saturday night. I don't think anybody had enough liquor in the world to get ready for this one. That's for sure.
I got mine ready to go. I got my beer ready to go to talk about this. So this will be fun.
Man, it was. I didn't think that my prediction would be so pure right off the bat that we were going to see some trouble with some championship guys, and it happened in every race. Yeah. Every single race, one of the championship guys got in trouble for better or for worse. So that was interesting. I was kind of smiling out the side of my mouth with that one, but especially the trucks. My goodness. My goodness.
Yeah, all started with Corey Heim leading the field to green, and Ty Majeski was able to win stage 1. Corey Heim won stage 2. And then came the chaos. We had Carson Hocevar spinning the 11 of Corey Heim, which, I mean,
for what?
For a championship spot. I mean,
no,
you got
it wasn't.
No.
He was slow all race. Like he had nothing to gain there, and he just ruined Corey Heim's night. And
he just dug
like
it into the turn way too hard.
It was just a mess. Like, yeah, he never had anything for those guys all night, and he was getting frustrated. And then put on his little act in the car because he had a camera pointed right at him. He's like, "Oh my god!"
No, I agree. The lap before he gets into Corey Heim, and then the next lap he's just like, "Well, if I can't beat you, I'm going to wreck you." And it sucked to see, but then again, this is Carson Hocevar we're talking about. Just when I think that he's going to turn the ship here, he goes and he pulls an act like that in a championship race. That was Corey Heim's championship. He was the best truck all night long, and those guys, the rest of the championship four, they had nothing for him. He was going to cruise to it, and that's Carson Hocevar.
And he was patient. He was patient getting around the 42 as well. Like he took his time. He did it right. And it didn't make any sense because he'd already gotten past. He knew he was slow. And just in the 1.5 laps that he was still close enough to do something. Like, why do that? Why?
He got into him one lap, and then he just turned him the next lap. And I think Tyler Reddick summed it up best. When will this dumbass ever learn? Because he's not going to get away with doing stuff like that in the Cup Series next year. It's going to be a rude awakening for him. And I'm just disappointed because I really thought we were turning the ship here. And And then he goes and like Tom said, he knows he has a camera pointed on him, so of course he's gonna put on a show like that. It's just disappointing to see from Carson. This is what really started to unravel some complete chaos and just some shit racing here at the end of this one.
Yeah. My only thing is it was not on purpose, unlike what Corey Heim.
No.
All right.
No,
Okay,
it
we're not
wasn't.
even
I
gonna
agree.
okay.
I agree. It wasn't on purpose, but it was dumb as shit.
No, it was dumb.
was
But
so
that's
stupid.
okay, but that's what you're
He
gonna
hasn't
see
learned anything.
out of this series, out of the Xfinity series and the truck series. You're gonna see guys do stupid dumb shit all the time. Noah doing stupid dumb shit on the track, wrecking people out on fucking Road America. Ty Gibbs taking out his own teammate. You got guys that just do dumb shit like this because when they come up in the Cup series and they start doing it, they're gonna get humbled real fast and they're gonna learn. Yeah, Carson Hocevar did a really shit job on Corey Heim. He just drove into him. But what Corey Heim did to Carson Hocevar is, I think, beyond worse. And what I think is that
much worse.
What team owners should look at is like, this kid is
1000%.
just immature as all hell because he ends up ruining 3 guys' night, especially his own, and he ends up giving away the championship from Grant
Enfinger.
The
championship for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Corey Heim's move just doesn't make sense to me. He took himself out of contention at that point because with all the chaos that was unraveling, he was climbing back through the field, and then he just had to do that. And then what he says post race, like, oh, it wasn't intentional, it wasn't intentional.
Well, of course he's gonna say that.
It wasn't.
He has to.
He doesn't want to get suspended, dude.
But
everyone goes out and say
you have to hold on. He doesn't have a crystal ball, so he doesn't know that the caution that's caused by him taking out Hocevar turns into 4 or 5 more restarts. So you can't fault him for ruining his own truck when if that caution comes out and he saves his truck, he has a chance with all the chaos we saw. But then secondly, like we said, Hocevar is going to Cup. Corey Heim is not. So in Corey Heim's eye, yeah, it's wrong, it's terrible, it's bad craftsmanship, whatever you want to talk about. This is his only chance to get him back is when he's coming back around. I mean, because Hocevar, after he spun, and credit to him, he dropped through the field, whether he's in his emotions or he just knows he doesn't deserve to be up there. He fell like a rock on the restart afterwards. But Corey Heim, when he gets back to him, he affects the championship. He creates this wild shit show that's already messy with everybody else intentionally wrecking each other, driving into turn 4. And it's just, it was just wild. But again, he doesn't have a crystal ball. He doesn't know that he's still potentially going to have a chance with all the chaos that follows. This, in his eyes, he's like, he's right here, right now, in 3 laps. This won't mean as much. I'm gonna do this now. So like, I guess from a time standpoint to get revenge, do it. But because it's this one race and because there's so much pressure and because it's a championship and everything that it caused, like you can't get behind it. And again, from an owner's standpoint, like you guys said, that's an awful look.
Yeah. And I mean, why do it out on the track? Why not just finish out your season, look like a mature professional, and just handle it after the race? If you want to go and sock them afterwards, go and do that. But do not, it doesn't matter how you do it, but don't use your car as a weapon out on the track. It doesn't matter if you're right rearing him or if you're just going to wreck him to send a message. He did it on purpose, and he ended up ruining multiple guys' days and just added to the chaos for this race. So I lost a lot of respect for Corey Heim. I was dogging on Carson, saying that was bullshit what he did, but that kind of all went out the window when Corey Heim pulled that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Ian. I think this is a matter that has to be handled off the track because he just flat out just cost Grant Enfinger was gone. That championship was his. But then all that happened, and then it all went away for him. So yeah, it's disappointing to see. But this is the truck series. They're just a bunch of immature little kids. This is why Corey Heim is staying in the truck series, and he's just not mature. He's not ready. And that move right there, it just proved it. And this isn't even like the chaos doesn't even end here. There's so much more that comes after that. It just gets worse.
But this is the story. This is the story.
This is the big story from it, for sure. but it just gets worse. And this is why the ARCA series raced that afternoon, and their race was more clean than the truck series. And that's crazy to see because you would expect this shit 100% from an ARCA race, but it's disappointing to see. This was just embarrassing for the sport.
You brought up Heim's post race comments, and the precedent has been set. He can't say, "Yeah, I don't."
Oh yeah,
but the fact that he was blatantly asked if he feels bad about affecting the champion, he says no, because his was already over, and it's the selfishness that really gets me there. It's just rough.
Yeah, lost a lot of respect for him, but. Guys, and we had multiple cautions come out after this. Ben Rhodes was so close to getting the white flag, and then a caution came out. Zane Smith, he missed a shift on one of the restarts, which caused Ben Rhodes to slam into.
That was so lucky.
Mind.
I thought
my
Ben
mind.
Rhodes was done.
Yeah. I thought he was done. Like the tire looked fucked. Like he was staying out there for the next restart. I was like, dude, he is not going to be able to turn this thing. It's just going to go straight right into the wall. But that truck held on for another restart. He held off Grant Enfinger, got his second championship.
They were
absolutely
back
incredible.
to back.
Yeah, they were back to back. They were battling.
Ben
Rhodes had a
NASCAR held another
truck.
Flag.
Yep.
There was the 16 that spun out, and it was
it
was in the wall. It was similar to one earlier, and they held the flag. They threw the white instead of the yellow, which tinfoil hat time again. But I think NASCAR was done with everybody's bullshit too. We're getting excited about this ending that should have never happened in the first place. I don't know. I think NASCAR should have made the executive decision when Heim puts the 42 in the wall to be like, you know what? No, we're ending this under caution. This is over. This is done.
Right.
But they were never going to do that.
No, you can't just change the rules like that. But either way, Ben Rhodes was
still
able
stop
to
the races for stages in this final race where points don't matter. So
but Ben Rhodes
can't change the rules.
2-time champion. Awesome to see that, especially with a junked up race car like that. And sorry, Tom, but you are a boomer. That was one of the best media conferences.
Sure. Throw a screenshot of the tweet up here. But like it was forced, it was weird, and
it was forced.
He knew he had to try, he was trying to one up himself. I don't know.
I just think that's the kind of guy he is. Like, he seems like real quiet when he gets in the car, but when he wins and he celebrates, man, he has a good time. And I think that's how he does it. Like, maybe he wanted to recreate it, but hey, man, he just won another championship. I think he let him celebrate, and that was just so much fun, man. I
tried watching the press conference because they posted it in its entirety, and I got like maybe halfway through it, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this. So, but I'm glad other people enjoy it. Yeah, I'm a boomer. That's fine. I don't know. We talk about them not having professionalism on the track, and then they come off the track and act like a child in a press conference. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'll die on that hill. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. All right.
I'm happy for the guy.
No, it's cool. I'm happy for him. No, it's just kind of cringy.
He's the guy. I talked about it. We talked about this last week when we were making our picks. Ben Rhodes, he's just consistent. That's what he is, and this is how he's gotten here time and time again. And it was just up to whether or not Thor Sport was going to give him a truck to go out and do it, and they did. At the end, they did. He survived. He survived the carnage. I literally thought when he got into the back of Zane Smith, I was like, he just had the easiest championship handed in his lap. And it's over for him, and that's it. No, he survived. He held on. It was a terrible race, but if there was one guy at the end who I wanted to get it, it was Ben Rhodes. I like Ben Rhodes. I think he's a great personality. I think he's great for sport. He's a 2-time champ now because of it. I would like to see him move on to other opportunities, though. I want to see him get out of. I want to see him get out of the truck series and get another opportunity elsewhere.
But where is that?
Maybe somewhere in the Xfinity Series. Yeah, the sponsorship and the funding is a huge problem for him. He's had a lot of blank trucks, but
that's a shame for now a 2-time champion to still have sponsorship troubles. Like, we know he can drive. We know he can handle the pressure, and the sponsors can't come around for him. Like, that's kind of rough. That's tough.
Look at Brett Moffitt, man. Like, he still struggles. and he was
Sheldon Creed.
one of the best in the truck series at his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed too. Like
Mhm.
He was one of them, too.
Whelen was an RCR sponsor. Like he has nothing to bring over to Joe Gibbs Racing. He'll probably have a He Gets Us car. Who knows?
He gets us in interstate batteries and whatever else. But
Yeah, whatever wants to be on there with him.
But I'm glad that Joe Gibbs Racing will still take chances on guys like that. You know, they're like, hey, this guy can drive. They'll get us notoriety if we keep winning with them. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
Great
opportunity for him. I think it's a great opportunity for him. But yeah, at the end of the day, that race was a joke. It was an embarrassment. That's not how a championship race should play out. That was a bad look for our sport right there, because that was just a demolition derby. And there's going to be people out there who are going to say, oh, that was the best shit I've ever seen. And then NASCAR is going to, even NASCAR on Twitter, they were taken to it. They're like, oh my God, this was unbelievable. Craziest race ever. And no.
Unbelievable doesn't always mean good.
Yeah.
No, it was bad. That was bad right there. And I just loved that all the cup drivers and the owners were like, this is garbage. This is dog shit right here.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it was just bad look all around. And they got to fix this shit, because the immaturity and the lack of respect in this truck series, it just keeps getting out of hand every year. But congrats to Ben Rhodes.
But it's the system they built. They built winning over everything. And so now one race can make a difference. And these guys who don't know the racecraft quite well enough yet for this top series, and they're kind of forced into it. So like and there's nobody punishing them in the moment when stuff's bad. Denny's calling for like sending people to the back. Like they should have sent Hocevar to the back. They should have sent, I don't know. It's the system they built. It's what NASCAR wants us to enjoy.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Christian Eckes did win this race. They didn't really talk about that much, but either way, Ben Rhodes, champion. Awesome to see that. Carolina nut. All right, so we're done with that shit show. Let's move over to a real racing series, probably the best racing series in NASCAR, the Xfinity Series. We had Sammy Smith lead the field to green. He's great here at this track. He won the race in the spring. He started on the pole. He's going to do great things over in Junior Motorsports next year. I know that for sure.
Well, Brandon Jones.
just
be careful.
Let's go win races for Menards.
Don't put too many eggs in that basket just yet.
All right, and Justin Allgaier, he spun early. This was like on lap 3. He was going low on the track, going 3 wide with Nemechek and Austin Hill. Kind of in the same area that Carson Hocevar was, but didn't take out the 20 of John Hunter Nemechek. He took himself out, but no damage. Had a bunch of guys go around him, and he was. It took him a while to come back up to the front throughout this race.
But that first stage, he was flying back through. I think he got back into the top 10 by the end of it, which really made me. I was like, man, he's just going to drive past all these guys and go win out this championship right away. That was very impressive in the first stage.
Mm-hmm. And then Nick, I'm sorry, last race in the Xfinity Series, Hemrick gets a tire rub.
What they fucking do?
Yeah, couple laps
what
down.
What they fucking do? What a great way! What a great way to finish out our Xfinity Series career with college racing than that. I don't care. We're racing on Sundays next year.
Yep.
Page is turned. I'm focused on Sundays now.
There you go, buddy. Alrighty. Nemechek wins stage 1. Custer wins stage 2. Sammy Smith had a huge fire in his pit stall after they were
wild.
fueling his car. Yeah, really. Did you see the camera from the
helmet cam video? Yeah,
from the fuel guy. Oh my God,
dude, just engulfed.
Those are some brave motherfuckers, especially this year. We've had a lot of brave pit crew members getting hit and caught on fire. Like
my favorite, he just like stands up and turns around, finds the firefighter, and just goes like this.
Yeah,
he's like, "Come on,
can you take care of this for me?
I got a situation here. I'm not freaking out or anything, but just come on. I gotta stop the finish. Let's go." It's good.
That was crazy. JJ Yaley wrecked because of his fan control car that they brought out. That
I thought he got
was
tagged.
he dumped?
I thought he got tagged.
So okay, but I'm still blaming it on the fan control because they put in the adjustments, how many tires, how much fuel, where they choose for the restart. It's just absolutely
It's cool.
insane. Like, it's cool.
They gave them
But-
a lot more choices than they needed to, though.
But the fans should not be running a race car because, oh my God.
I think it's
NASCAR
a
fans.
idea.
NASCAR fans are not the brightest people.
I don't know anything.
I'm saying
about
that as a
race
NASCAR
car.
fan.
I try to set up my own cars in iRacing. I have no clue what I'm doing, so I can't imagine doing this for a real live race car.
I always fail inspection.
As a community, you know how all these internet contests go. That's how you end up with like new ships named Bodie McBoatface and whatnot. Like it's
Bushy
the same
McBush
thing.
race.
Yeah, the Bushy McBush race. Like how is this ever going to turn out into a productive race for SS Greenlight? Like it's interesting, cool that they tried it. I don't know, kind of weird.
Don't do it again.
Think they could. I don't think they could have picked a worse race to do this in. The championship race. Just imagine a fan adjustment leads to like JJ Haley blowing a tire, driving up the racetrack, and it's going to be a Noah Gregson Homestead moment all over again, right into a championship 4 contender. I just don't understand it. I think, sure, it's cool, but I think it's stupid. I personally think it's
stupid. They made money, maybe.
And poor JJ. People say poor JJ Haley, but then I go to see like he signed up for this. He knew what he was signing up for. He was signing up for a shit show. But yeah, that was a stupid idea, and they could not have picked the worst race. They got lucky that they didn't alter this championship race.
Yeah, I didn't think about it from the aspect of it being the championship race. I guess that's not the greatest thing.
Yeah, or if the fans decide not to pit and put them out front in front of the championship drivers, and they just all wreck. Oh my God!
Like, don't pit, stay out.
Yeah,
it's the opening of Cars where he's like, "You need tires, idiot! We're staying out the whole race. We need gas, fans. Come on, nope, staying out there.
We're rim riding out there.
We're gonna go win the race."
Oh man!
Excellent.
Alrighty, and then Anthony Alfredo spins to bring out the OT restart, and we had all 4 championship drivers in the top 4 battling it out on this restart. We had Custer take it 3 wide with Nemechek and Allgaier. Those 2 were beating and banging on the backstretch, but it was Cole Custer who came around them, passed Justin Allgaier, and finally got his first Xfinity Series championship. Cole Custer, unbelievable job by this guy. What a redemption story this is too, for him to come back and rewrite his own career. And now he's a champion, and he'll be back next year to win some more races and kick some more ass. But great race by all 4 of these drivers. They really prove that they are the best of the best in this series.
Oh, great drive by Custer. Oh, you go ahead, Tom.
I think I was just going to say it's a great thing for Custer to come back and not take, because obviously it's not his decision to go back down. It's not a John Hunter Nemechek sort of deal. He's not going down there to prove himself. He was forced back down there more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And so good for him to not be pissy about it, not be rude, not just go like kick rocks and hang out. No, he went out there and he still accomplished something, and that's really good.
Yeah. What a restart. I thought when they were going down to turn 1, I thought Custer was done for. He was in the middle, and then it was like this John Hunter Nemechek. It's like he missed the corners. He was way up the racetrack.
Yeah.
And then you got a little contact from the 7, but no harm, no foul there. Those 4 it was a complete solar opposite from what we saw the night before in the Truck Series.
Mm-hmm.
These guys didn't use each other up. They didn't wreck each other. They raced it clean. They raced it with respect. And yeah, that's awesome for Cole Custer, because he could have been pissed for getting demoted. I'm sure he was at first. And the season did not start off the way that any of us probably thought it was going to for Cole. It took him some time to get reacclimated with the series, but once he started winning races, this was a phenomenal playoff run for them. They were up front every week. He was consistent. He won some races, and yeah, he got it done. So I'm happy for the kid. What a great redemption story. And it was nice to see Tony Stewart
actually at the racetrack.
At the racetrack. Actually at the racetrack, and then we saw the video of him celebrating in the 00 pit box. He looked happy again. He hasn't been happy with NASCAR in a long time. So that
Yeah.
was nice to see. And yeah, at the end of the day, Cole drove his ass off, and he's a
Stuart
champion. And
Stuart Haas also found something too at the end of the
yeah,
year. They were struggling in Cup and Xfinity, and maybe they never figured it out in Cup all the way. But by these last few races, they really had the ball rolling with these cars, and they were just bringing fast forwards to the racetrack.
Yeah.
The double
Priest
zero
and
and the
Briscoe.
98.
Yeah, Priest and Briscoe up in the Cup Series, they've been running well the past couple weeks
Mhm.
as well on these short tracks.
Right. And like
And obviously,
Harvick's even been better. Like, yeah, he's been carrying that team on his back.
yeah,
But even the past few races, like he was just there. He was ready to go.
21 straight top 10 finishes
Mhm.
to end the season. That is in fucking insane, man.
Is that just at Phoenix 21 straight top tens, or is that for the season?
I thought they said that for this.
No, I don't think it was for the season.
Okay, maybe
again,
it's me. Yeah, it makes
yeah, I think
sense
it was
for
at
I think
Phoenix
it is
because
Phoenix,
Talladega
yeah.
he didn't finish top 10.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I always forget that he was disqualified at Talladega.
You know.
But yeah,
But either way,
back
the
to
guy's incredible at Phoenix.
Yeah.
back to the SHR Xfinity program. I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next year. If Riley
Keeping
Herbst
their
can keep up
drivers.
this,
Yeah.
if Riley can keep up this momentum that he finished the season on, take that into next season, he's going to be scary. He's going to be a threat. And then Cole Custer, he wins the championship. So the momentum is going to ride high in the next season, and they're going to be scary. So I would look out for both 98 and 00.
You just hope they dump those gremlins of bringing broken race cars to the racetrack.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
We saw that quite a few too many times.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, good for Cole. John Hunter, he's moving out of the Cup Series next year. He had a phenomenal season. I think he went out and accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish, minus winning the championship. It's still a successful season. 7 wins on the year. Justin Allgaier has another great season. He said in his interview before the race that no matter what happens, he's going to walk out on a high note because he was just happy to be there. And Sam Mayer, he had himself a breakout year, and he's going to hope to build on that next season. So very good Xfinity Series Championship 4 and a very good race. Well respected throughout all the drivers. They race each other clean. They race each other hard. Congrats to Cole. Can't wait for next season.
Yeah. You got that right, buddy. Now let's talk the Cup Series Championship, last race of the season, last race for Kevin Harvick's career. Like we were saying at the beginning of the show, amazing career, 60 career wins in the Cup Series, a champion, and he started third in this race. And they gave him a freaking fast car for this one, boys. But it was William Byron that led the field to green. And Kevin Harvick took the lead from Willie B after Willie B wins stage 1, and the crowd went crazy.
It was good to see him out there. You know, again, they've had their struggles this year. You kind of worried he was going to kind of go out with a whimper, but he was trying his best, and they brought the fast thing. Again, he already thought that Rodney would just do everything he could to cheat, and NASCAR turn a blind eye. Because honestly, if Kevin Harvick won that race, it'd be a great story, and it wouldn't have affected anything. So it wouldn't have affected the championship, whatnot. Obviously, you can't be miles and miles ahead of everybody, but I don't think I would have been mad. I would have been like, he's cheating. I'd be like, okay, cool. We got one more before you could go. So kind of surprised they didn't do that, but you know, rules are rules.
A couple broken braces in the rear window. You know, we do what we can.
Yeah.
All right. And poor Christopher Bell, man. After stage 1, this guy has a tire go down, slams into the wall. His day is over. Second year going for a championship. Came up really, really, really short in this one. Yeah, but can't put this guy down. Had an amazing season, and I think he'll come back, and I think we'll see him in the championship 4 again next year if he keeps up this momentum that he keeps in the playoffs.
It was disappointing.
I still think he's the best driver at JGR right now.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was disappointing to see, and it kind of just goes back to the thing like why it shouldn't have come down to that moment right there. Shouldn't have affected it. It should the one race championship. It just really does it. So like if we had like a 3 race championship, this would have hurt Christopher Bell, but it wouldn't have totally taken him out of it. But just to see it go up in flames just like that early, after how hard and how good the 20's been this season. This was back-to-back championship 4 appearances for Christopher Bell, and I wouldn't be shocked one bit if he's back in there next year. This 20 team, I agree with Tom. He's one of the better ones at JGR right now. They're really clicking their strides, and I wouldn't be surprised one bit if we see him back here come next year.
Well, we know his crew chief knows how to work this stuff when the rubber hits the road and all that. So that's one of the things that gives him a lot of help getting here, and he knows how to get it done. Adam Stevens does, and so he knows what it takes to get there. I mean, we saw that he won when he won the Roval and when they won Martinsville last year, and this year when they won Homestead. He knows when it's crunch time, you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, absolutely. So sucks for Bell, but
heartbreaking though.
Yeah. Really heartbreaking. But that left 3 drivers to go for a championship. We had Chris Buescher winning stage 2, just ending the season on a real high note for this team with RFK Racing. Everything that team has done this year, all 3 wins that he's gotten, absolutely incredible for Chris Buescher. And I just hope to see Brad win some races next year and just see this whole RFK team just up and running and be the top Ford team.
I'm happy for Chris Buescher. I don't want to see Brad win another race ever.
I want to see him get at least one more. Just one in this. You know what? For as bad as the 6 cars treated me over the years, I kind of like to see the curse of the 6 live on. But no, I love Brad Keselowski, so I want to see him get it just one. Just let him win one. I don't care where it's at. Just let him get one because man,
come on, Tom.
Chris
That
Buescher,
rivalry is over, man.
I don't care.
Chris
He looks like a horse. He shouldn't win a race. He looks like a horse, and I know that's nothing to do with his skill or whatnot, and he can't really help how he looks. But anyway,
I mean, he could. He's got that money, but no, Chris Buescher has just been driving circles around Brad Keselowski. So yeah, it would be nice to see Brad get one. But yeah,
that shop has come a long way from the beginning of the season.
Oh, definitely,
100%.
They got something to be proud of there out of the RFK shop.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris was running fast, and so was Brad. Brad's had his moments this year. It seems like every race that Chris Buescher won this year, Brad Keselowski was leading at some point. So at some point, the 6 was going to get him one. But yeah, it's impressive for Buescher, and I hope to see more of it next year.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Ryan Blaney and Ross Chastain racing hard for the lead, and I really feel like Ryan Blaney just did not have to do that, man. Like, yeah, it would be awesome to win the race too. It just shows that you're like a real competitive champion, but you don't want to be doing this with a guy that is known for wrecking people all the time, man. Especially Ross Chastain. Don't want to be doing that. But hey, either way, put on a good show for us at home. Able to see some great battles with that 1 and the 12.
Yeah, it's the problem with having this race at Phoenix. It's just not conducive to something like this, and it's a short track, but you can aero block. And Blaney, the one issue I have with it is that the more Blaney fights with him, then the closer the 5 can get back to him, or the 24 can get back to him, and so whatnot. So like, yeah, he doesn't have to pass him to win the championship, but then he's got to do a lot of defending on his own when he's at an aero disadvantage because he's following another car. So like, no, Ross doesn't need to move over. 100%. That's not what I'm saying, is like that he needs to move over and just let this guy go. But maybe Blaney could be a little smarter, take a little bit more time, whatnot. Again, it was kind of scary to hear some of those radio calls with Blaney.
I mean,
and then when Rudy Fugle tells William Byron he's melting down, like, yeah, he kind of was. He was.
Dude, so that's Ryan Blaney, man. Like, Ryan Blaney's so chill, but when he steps in that race car, he is the biggest hothead I've ever seen run around a track, man. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's just the Penske way, because they say that about Logano too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Ross Chastain. Everybody knew he was going to race him as hard as he could, because Ross Chastain's out there for a purpose. He's out there to go win a race, which he wound up doing. But yeah, he's not going to move over for anybody. He's going to become the new Ryan Newman. He's already morphing into that. He's going to be a tough pass every single time. Yeah, and if I'm on Ryan Blaney's radio, I'm just like, dude, just calm down. We got a sizable gap over the 5. Like, you don't have to win this race to win this title. But I do think that Ryan Blaney, if he was able to clear the 1, he would have just driven away from everybody.
Yeah.
Because I do think he was faster. But that's just what goes on with this track and this short track package. He could not get around him. He was faster, but he couldn't do it because he just aero blocked him.
There's the guy that always like tweets out the photo of where they'd finish if it was just based off median lap times and whatnot. And Ross is going to be finished like 6th. So he had to stay out in front or he was just going to drop like a rock. And that's what we see with this car. So yeah, 100% if Blaney is able to get around him, he's going to go win the race and drive off into the sunset and maybe feel a little bit better. But yeah, Ross did everything he needed to do to win the race and kudos to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Tom. Kyle Busch spins one more time to finich off the season.
It's the tinfoil hat again. They didn't like how this race was finishing out. And they wanted to bunch him back up one more time. Yeah, well, hey, we won 3 times this year. I'll be happy.
Yeah, great start to the season for that 8 team, kicking it off at California.
Right. With how RCR has performed historically over the past few years, I was concerned going into the year about how competitive we'd be, and it was surprising early, and maybe the rest of the field caught up, or maybe we regressed. But I'm happy to get 3 wins when I was expecting maybe a half a win. So I don't know.
3 for Dale first year with
Yeah.
RCR. So
Oh man.
when he runs the backup car and there's the outline of the 3,
yeah,
and everybody's like, the prophecy is fulfilled. He is Dale.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Yep. And we had Blaney running down Larson. Chastain wins the race, and Blaney is able to hold off Kyle Larson and win his first NASCAR Cup Series championship. Honestly, something I did not see at the start of this playoffs. Everyone had Ryan Blaney written out early, except for Dale Jr. Yep, except for Dale Jr.
From day one, Dale Jr.'s like, Blaney, fuck it.
Yeah.
And he stuck with it just because he picked him in February.
Yep. And Blaney, man, he had a hell of a run in the playoffs.
That's what Penske does. They did it last year with Joey Logano. They did, and again, it's interesting because Cindric has been a non-starter since his rookie Daytona 500.
Yep.
And then Joey was kind of like this last year, kind of just lurking, but Joey never showed up at all this year. He won at the drafting track in Atlanta. Yeah. But Ryan's always kind of been there, but again, after the 600, he never did anything special. He was like 2 months straight with outside the top 15 or something. So you got to turn it on when you need to turn it on, and Penske, I guess, knows how to do it.
Yeah. This was the first all the tinfoil hatters out there that a championship driver did not win the race for the first time in the Cup Series since this format was
put
into place. It is possible. We saw it
takes a Ross Chastain though.
Yeah, right.
Ross Chastain's not going to be one to be like NASCAR's getting on his radio, be like, you got to pull over. That's the championship guy behind you. Ross Chastain's like, fuck you. I'm going to go win this race.
You went out and he did that. Congrats to Ross. He got that Busch sponsorship started a little bit earlier. Than expected. He had some Busch Lane victory lane, but yeah, what a story for Ryan Blaney. He had a decent regular season. It was nice to see him go out and win the Coke 600, but then he kind of just faded, had a summer slump. But come playoff times, that's all it takes. That is all it takes is just a hot playoff run. We saw that with Christopher Bell last year. We thought he was going to be able to cap it up after his hot playoff run. And then Ryan Blaney, he was that guy this year. And I'm happy for the guy. He's a likable dude. So yeah, congrats to Ryan.
I'm also glad this was settled on the track. Just like there's so much talk about pit stall 1. Whoever qualifies the best of these 4 is going to be the one. And we saw pit stall 1. It helped, but it wasn't always that way. In fact, Blaney was coming out of the pits behind a lot of these guys for most of the race. And then again, we like 2021, we saw Kyle Larson have a fast pit stop, get out in front of everybody. And everybody's like, well, if you win the last pit stop, you win the race, you win the championship. And that wasn't true either. Blaney had the speed and he had the drive and the mentality to go get it done. which is what you want to see ultimately. Yes, the pit stops, the pit crews, we say it all year. We've saying it all year on this podcast. The pit stops play a fundamental role in what is the sport of racing, but you also don't want them to solve the problem of who's going to win the championship outright.
Right.
So I think it was a solid race overall, and kind of like we were saying last week, it wasn't gonna be, oh, I'm upset if this guy won because he didn't really show up this year. It's like every one of those four guys had the chance to be like, I deserve this championship. This was mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed this championship race the most out of any since we've come to Phoenix. A lot of stories going on, and it was just solid racing, which I was surprised to see because this is Phoenix and this is his package. You didn't ever know what to expect with it, but no, I thought they put on a good show, and I'm happy for Blaney. He's not a very emotional guy, but you could see it was clear in his eyes. He said he was getting emotional in the car, and he put down one hell of a burnout with that championship flag, and that's something we don't see Blaney do either. He doesn't like to burn the car down.
He said when he wins races. This was a championship.
He didn't even win a race.
Yeah, he didn't win, but he burned the hell out of that car. But yeah, that was a good cup race. A good cup race. Great Xfinity race. Really trumped out what we saw on Friday night. So I was glad to see. Glad to see the boys put on a show. I just can't believe that season's over now.
And congratulations to Ford, who would have, at the beginning of the year when they're talking about
the weekend,
Ford not being there. Everybody's saying it all year. Ford just doesn't quite have it versus Toyota and Chevy. And look who wins all three championships.
All three championships.
It's wild. Just wild.
Is that the first time we've had the same manufacturer win all three championships in one weekend?
I don't remember.
Oh man, yeah.
I can't remember. Probably.
Yeah. It feels like
maybe the first time in a while.
Yeah, it could be. But either way, guys, awesome championship weekend. We got 3 new champions crowned, and it's going to be a long off season. But we're going to cap off this show with a couple silly season thoughts, guys. So the 10 car is still open. Eric Almirola just had his last ride with Stewart Haas Racing full time in the Cup Series. Who's taking that 10 car? Been kind of linked to Noah Gragson, but there could be other guys that can come up and take it too. I mean, I don't even think that they've confirmed if Custer is like going.
No, they
Xfinity.
Said that he's coming back.
They said it multiple. Yeah, they said it multiple times.
They announced it a couple weeks ago, and this was a newer development. I mean, they had to know in house that Eric wasn't coming back. I'd like to see them put Custer back in there. He proves he can still get it done. Maybe not put him in the 10 car, rebrand it back to the 00 like it was all those years ago.
Would love that.
And then he can kind of pull his Xfinity knowledge or his Xfinity identity into the Cup Series again. He won a championship. I think if you want to promote from within, that's the best way to do it. I don't know. Gragson, Tony Stewart missed his chance the last time. Ford told him no, they couldn't hire Kyle Larson. So maybe he'll want Gragson and be able to convince Ford that they can take him. I don't know if he's the best fit for that. But there's not too many other things. And then the more wild thing, which we saw historically, was they've rushed Danica into that car way too soon. So maybe they'll throw Deegan in there just because she brings money. So who knows? He likes her. She runs in her SRX car every week when she doesn't fit into that crowd either. Why not? She's popular. She'll bring money.
Yeah.
Why? It'll be a storyline. I don't know. What is Stewart Haas doesn't have much else going on.
They like the money drivers, man. That's why Almirola was running for so long. Yeah, maybe you got to win every 2-3 years, but it was the bacon. It was the bacon.
It could be. I don't know who else it could be besides, and with Custer and Herbst already confirmed to go back to Xfinity. I mean, I think Deegan's running Xfinity next year. Who knows? Maybe they'll put fucking Frankie Muniz in there for all we know.
Yeah,
he's running RSS car, I believe, next year.
I don't know if that's true. Because he quote tweeted whatever that was, and he said, that's news to me." So that's not confirmed at all. But yeah, for me, I think Custer, he deserves the car the most. It's not going to happen, but he deserves that seat the most. He went back down and he proved himself.
I mean, Gene Haas wanted to keep him in there. instead of going with Ryan Preece. So like the ownership wanted him there too.
They wanted him there, but yeah, I think it's going to be Noah. That's who's been linked to this car for the longest time.
Boyd just posted a video of him fishing with the Bass Pro hat on and had a song that kept saying Bass Pro in the background.
They're going to need to get Ford's approval, but once they do, he's already got the partnership. Bass Pro is looking like they're going to stick with him. Bass Pro, Black Rifle Coffee. So
of course, Black Rifle Coffee makes sense.
He's got the funding for it, so he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy that's going to be in that car.
It's the best case scenario for him. And again, we'll see a very similar situation to Kyle Larson, where he's going to get kicked out of a worse ride and then get hired by a better ride. Which
somehow
a better ride. Yeah.
Interesting. I need to look at my own life and maybe make some worse decisions.
Make some really bad decisions that can jeopardize your career and family life and all that stuff. Yeah, man. Go for it.
Whatever.
Yeah. So another thing I want to say is AJ staying in Cup, or is he going back down in Xfinity? Because he's been kind of teeter-tottering around the idea. He got that big win at the Roval in the Cup Series this year. Kind of motivates him to stay. We do run at a lot of road courses, but does he want to go back down and be a champion though, where he can compete at every track with all these drivers? My thoughts are he's going back down Xfinity. I really do think that.
He said he wants to be in Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I think colleagues having an identity crisis and a money crisis, where it's just like, what do they want to do? They're not the trophy hunting team anymore in Cup Series because they got 2 charters. They're full-time racing. You got to be more than trophy hunting. If they want a trophy hunt, send them down to Xfinity, have them go hunt that championship trophy. But he said himself he wants to be in Cup. So I think colleague has having more of a crisis than AJ Allmendinger is. Okay. He's there.
Well, that's what AJ said. That's what AJ said. It was like, it's really not up to him. It's whatever Matt Cog and Chris Rice think is best for the organization. He's going to listen to it because AJ, he's just a call guy. He'll do whatever that they want him to do. But it's tough because he does want to stay. But in the back of my head, I still think that he's going to go back down there. I really do think he's going to go back down. I just think he's happier there. He might be saying he wants to stay in Cup, but he couldn't have been having too much fun in that seat, minus the Roval win, because he just ran about where he did when he was with JTG Doherty, and he was having the worst time of his life when he was there. When he went back down to Xfinity Series with Colleague, he was having the time of his life. So at the end of the day, I know he wants to stay in Cup, but I just don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he'll be back in Xfinity, which then poses the question, what do they do with that 16 car? Do they make it kind of a rotating car for Xfinity drivers, for guys like AJ and other guys in their Xfinity program to get starts? I don't know.
Colleague took a step back this year. And so
for sure.
AJ, I think AJ needs to first confirm which program is going to be more competitive. And then if he has his own decision, he's going to lean towards whichever is going to be more competitive. Because like you said, every time he wins, he's like, you don't know when the next one's going to come. He understands his time is limited. And I think he'd have a lot more time competing for races, getting top 10s than he would struggling to finish well. So right. I think there's going to be a whole mixture of that. And colleagues got to figure out how they can move their program forward.
Agreed. All right. And then our last note, we did see GMS close their doors at the end of Friday night's race. Grant Enfinger was not able to cap it off with that championship, but he did announce this week that he does have a ride full-time next season. And guys, I just want you to put your heads together and think, where is he going to go? I think he's going to stay in the truck still. He just seems like a truck lifer.
Oh, for sure.
I think maybe Thor Sport could open their doors back open to him again. I mean, he's a great driver. He's always competing in the playoffs. You could have someone like Tricon, who is growing into a great championship running team, open up a car for him, or Spire. I mean, they're picking up everything from Kyle Busch Motorsports. They're opening up in their new shop over there. I think a great driver, especially a veteran driver to have in this car, would be Grant Enfinger to run full time next year. I think that would be the best spot for him, would be Spire.
I agree. I like Spire. He's a
Yep.
Chevy driver. He can bring experience to a team that's going to ramp up their production very quickly. So he can hopefully bring some balance and some advice from a driver's perspective into all that. I don't see Tricon expanding. They're kind of just doing what they're doing. And then who's that other one you said? Oh, ThorSport. Yeah, I mean, he was already with ThorSport and kind of got shafted out of a deal there, so he may not want to go over that way. But
They
I
did
think
bring
if-
Johnny Sauter back though.
fair enough.
and that
Cool.
was Johnny Sauter.
Cool. Yeah, no, I think Spire makes sense. I guess, but he knows where he's going, or I guess
Yep.
whoever else signed his
Right.
contract. So, but yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I was honestly gonna say I think that's the best route for him too. It'd be that or ThorSport for me. He deserves a competitive ride. I mean, he's one of the best in the truck series. He would have won that championship if things would have played out a little bit differently. But he's ready for next year, and I think Spire would be a good fit for him, especially with him being that veteran kind of guy. He's going to bring a lot to that team right off the bat, and yeah, I think it would be a good fit for him.
Or the 10 Cup car.
Yeah,
Or
who
the 10
knows?
Cup car.
He did get
Hey, why not?
he did get a run in the 42 this year when Noah got suspended. So who knows?
Chevy.
Yeah.
Chevy. I don't know.
All right, guys.
Where you lose me.
Well, what a great season it was
Yeah.
for the 2023 NASCAR season, guys. A lot of stories, a lot of craziness that happened this year. A lot of drama.
Do you guys have a favorite moment from this year? There's a lot of memorable moments.
Oh God.
I think it was seeing that 29 come back out on the track for North Wilkesboro. That gave me the chills. Although he did run like his old RCR days, I will say that I think they did give him an RCR engine, but
Everybody
it was
ran
just
like shit. So
yeah.
you
But it was
know.
just really cool to see that paint scheme back. They put Busch Light on there. It's just awesome throwback. That gave me chills, and probably that and seeing Kevin. I'm still gonna say he in a photo finish with Ryan Blaney. He got that second place, and that was pretty memorable. But yeah,
I think for me it was. I mean, we went to a lot of races this year. I think for me it was just that Fontana trip. I think that was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be my moment of the season right there.
it's just
Getting
because
to
we
go
had a
out
bunch
there.
of Del Taco. That's why.
Yeah, I got introduced to that, but no, we were there for the last race at Auto Club Speedway, and just taking in that scenery, it was beautiful. The racing was awesome. Of course, we had to go see fucking Kyle Busch win his first race at RCR. That was probably the one and only time that anybody will ever see me cheering for Kyle was
Yep.
those final laps when he brought it home for his first win with RCR. But yeah,
On my
that was
fucking
probably
birthday too.
and then we see Xfinity cars under the lights there. So I thought that was just badass. So that whole weekend in general, for me, was probably my favorite moments from the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is most definitely the lead up and the whole Chicago race week and weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It was a blast. I got to meet you guys. From then on, I got to talk NASCAR with people that know NASCAR, which is a first for me in my life, besides talking to my dad. But just the whole race weekend there was so surreal, and to see how the city of Chicago embraced it, and all the people were just curious and wanting to know about it. My life changed a lot this past year. Like, I moved into the city last January and whatnot, but it was definitely a fantastic weekend, even with all the rain and all the bullshit that came along with all that. I don't think I'd change it if I could get it without rain, but that was just an incredible weekend. It's just, you look up at the buildings and then you're like, oh wait, there's a race going on in front of me. It was just wild. So that was definitely my favorite this year, amongst many, many, many other highlights.
Absolutely, boys. Well, what a great season it was. Guys, we will make sure to come back throughout the off season, talk silly season news. We might come up with some other ideas, just to give you guys some fun during the off season. But for the Stock Car Spectacle, I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Nick Kinzel.
I'm Tom Hobble.
And guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like us on Twitter and Instagram, and make sure to like our video and subscribe to our channel. That'll do it for us. Thanks, guys.